They say the best things come in small packages. For the past few months, I've been reviewing this little unit during league races as well as other disciplines like drifting and rally. Now it's finally time to share my thoughts on the Heusinkveld sequential shifter. On the left, you'll see all the sections in this review. If there's a section you're particularly interested in or wish to revisit, I've made a list of timestamps in the description below to make life easier for you. While you're down there, please take the time to hit thumbs up and to hit subscribe. If you'd like to share your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Hardware. When I first received this shifter on loan from a friend, it immediately struck me how small and heavy it is. The packaging was nowhere near as fancy as the beautifully presented pedals I reviewed a few weeks ago, but the hardware seemed confident and well thought out before I even had the pleasure of using it. In the box you get a great variety of shift knobs and even rods for different angles and applications. There's a table clamp and various other mounting options. I ended up using the bracket as shown as it gave a nice snug fit on my rig's shifter plate, and it was the tidiest fit and the nicest to look at. The unit itself consists of a small circuit, some clever hinging and some thick metal sheet plates which fit together to form the case with beautiful precision. But be careful undoing the bolts at the side because the bits will start falling off. It's very easy to put back together once you line everything up right. There's a USB port on the back of the unit which does make the USB cable stick out quite a bit, making it difficult to hide and keep tidy. On a small unit like this, it's never going to be easy to hide a USB cable. The electronics are made partly visible using some perspex. I presume this is simply because it mates to the circuit board and the metal might cause a short circuit if it all touches the circuit board and the USB port at the same time. Software. As with most sequential shifters, you don't need any drivers for this unit to work. Simply use the supplied USB cable to plug it in, map your controls in your sim of choice, and you're ready to go. Every sim title I tried had no issues recognizing the inputs from this shifter. Compatibility. Sorry console users, Heusinkveld's products are solely aimed at the PC market. This is a bit of a bummer, but mainly it comes down to the cost of licensing and the budget you need to become compatible with consoles. I bet that if you do contact them about this, they'll have a canned answer along the lines of what I just said. How it feels. This shifter packs a punch. It has a surprisingly heavy throw which you'd expect from a larger unit, but not from something with such a small form factor. There's a great clunk when you knock it into gear, a nice mechanical resistance which is consistent and feels quite natural. This shifter is exactly what I imagined the sequential shifters in open wheelers like the Skip Barber to feel. I'd love to have it mounted close to my steering wheel in a low formula seating position, but I don't have a rig which allows me to test out that configuration. Misshifts don't exist with this shifter, and you cannot lightly put it into gear. You need some force, which is more than can be said for many other sequential shifters. It really feels robust and dependable. Coupled with my butt kicker Gamer 2 on my rig, the clunk of engaging a gear feels very right. I may not be the right judge as I've never driven a real life sequential box in anger before, but it does feel very like how I imagine a real sequential shifter to feel. Price. This is not a cheap piece of hardware. It's not meant to be. It's a piece of simulation equipment that most people don't need as they have flappy paddles on their steering wheel anyways. At €209, it may not be for everybody. But those in the market for a sequential shifter should really consider this as a contender. This is a high quality piece of simulation hardware. More on that in my final thoughts section. When you hold this tiny shifter in your hand, you'll realise that it's like something out of a real race car, and it feels premium from the minute you touch it and its beautifully finished surfaces. If you want a product that screams high end, this will be the shifter for you. It's unbranded and somewhat mysterious, almost like David and Goliath when posed against some of the products you may be considering if you're in the market for a sequential shifter right now. I see its closest rival being the iLog shifter, but I'm basing that solely on looks as I haven't used the iLogs for an extended period of time yet. Final thought. It's not the cheapest sequential shifter, but it's definitely one of the better ones. It's compact and will fit into your rig perfectly as it won't be difficult to mount or find a home for it. However, I did find the lever a little bit short when driving rally style cars which usually have great big levers to get the handle close to your steering wheel to minimise the time you spend with your hands off the steering wheel. Once you get used to it, It's very easy to find and I used it for several recent live competitive sim racing events and it performed beautifully without any issues. I'd like to try it with a longer handle though. The short bars supplied and the minor differences between them suggest that this shifter should in fact be mounted high and close to the steering wheel. Where I have it probably isn't the ideal position, but I did find it nice and easy to use while still having loads of space for even the largest of handbrakes. Heusinkveld makes some seriously credible simulation products and are gaining massive market share with their amazing pedals and handbrake. They were working on a H-pattern shifter a few years ago, but that project has reportedly been shelved, or even completely abandoned, which is a shame. The thoughts of a company like Heusinkveld making a H-box really excites me. They make products which look good, but focus on functionality first. You'll see this passion if you watch any of Niels Heusinkveld's great videos on YouTube. He really knows his stuff. I wasn't given this shifter to review by Heusinkveld, I didn't even buy this product. I was actually loaned this by one of my friends about 6 months ago, and needless to say, it's probably about time I gave it back. I'm going to be very sad to see this shifter go. I've had some great times over the last couple of months using this in competition and just putting it through its paces. It really is my favourite sequential shifter that I have here at the moment. Please share your thoughts and impressions in the comments below. Leaving a thumbs up lets YouTube know that you engage with this content and it helps us suggest it to other people like you. It's a great way to support the channel. I'm Lawrence and this has been my review of the Heusinkveld shifter. I'll chat to you later.